guiding light, readers and seekers in the night, hopes and fears written in gold, truth appears.
Good morning, Maureen. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the MyTarot morning reflection, daily inventory, and chance to check in with the universe. So I hope everybody had an interesting weekend, a fun weekend. I got to go up to Habit of Grace and do the class, and one of the things, and I'd said this at the last class, good morning, Jenny, how are you? So you were at the last class, the class before last, and but I was just saying that I really am noticing now, it's after literally so many years of doing this, that when I get to the part in the class where I talk about doing a daily reflection, a morning inventory, listening to the cards like they're the sounds of the ocean, it really, I almost have to watch myself because I start going into like a trance or something, and it's just all that repetition. So as I always suggest, it's that repetition, it's that light switch. If it can come for somebody like me, and trust me, I'm like one of those vibrating people, but it's taken a while, but it's so worth it because listening to the cards like they're the sounds of the ocean, and using that as my light switch compared to how I was just 5 minutes ago, grabbing coffee, making sure cameras were on. Oh, it feels so good. So yes, happy Monday morning. We have sunshine out there. And now we get to check in with the universe, see if we have any angers or resentments or anything like that. See if there's anything to look at this morning, or maybe just look at it as that chance to take a breath. So here we are when we get the opportunity to check in with the four elements of the cards. We have earth, which is our feet, so I've got my feet flat on the floor, and then we have fire, which is right there with our hips and everything, and passion and all that fun stuff. So that's when we do the kitty dance to get comfortable in the seat. We have water because that's emotions and feelings, and we take a breath. And then we go into air, which is our neck and shoulders and our thoughts and ideas and all that wonderful stuff. And we just relax everything, and it gives us a chance to check in with that universe. Look at that mess. I know my tablecloth, this lovely red tablecloth I have, loves to just shift all over the place. So, what are we going to do then? We're going to check in with the universe, take that extra breath, and I am going to make our 3 stacks. Like each one's a different thread going out to the universe. It's like each one's a different thought or idea. And if we believe in the multiverse, it's like each one of these is a different path, because this stack will lead down one path. This stack is going to take us someplace else, and this conversation is going to take us in a different direction. And today, let's take a look at the center one. Let's see what's right at the heart. So I'm going to do our 3 and 1. And I will flip each one over one at a time like we're reading the pages of a book after I take a sip of coffee. So, you know what? I just thought about something. Coffee's like the perfect drink because it comes from beans, and that's the earth, right? And it gives you energy. So that's fire, and it makes my heart feel better, just like, oh, that was relaxed. So there we go with the water, and it's made with water. And then we have air, because I start thinking clearer because I'm so addicted to coffee. But I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do drugs. It's like it's my one bad habit. and I'm going to enjoy it. So I'm going to flip each card over one at a time like we're reading the pages of a book. And the first one is the Four of Coins. So fours, of course, are about stability, like the four legs on a table. And then coins are our home, health, finances, and all the things that keep us grounded. So based on the other cards, this can be about financial stability, about staying where we are, or it could be about being too conservative with our money, where sometimes we're more worried about the bills and all those things like that, where it overtakes our lives. But let's see what the next card is. It is the Ace of Swords. So swords are our thoughts, our ideas, sometimes our anxieties. But when we have an ace, it's like a seed, right? It's a one, so it's like we're starting over. So this is where we might be wanting to think or come up with something new or different, especially if we're feeling stuck. But let's see what the next card is then. It is the Six of Coins. So we have our three minors here today. And so we need to take a look at things like when is coffee a bad habit? It's not. So when we have the Four of Coins, it is. Sometimes we just get locked in because we have our fears. We have these things. We're very concerned sometimes about money. Where is money going to come from? Where are we going to pay this? If we have a house, there's some expenses. No matter what, you need to have a water heater. You need to have a roof. You need to have this or that. So we think about these things, or we need a car, and we get locked in. But sometimes we can still think outside the box. There's things that we can do that don't cost a lot of money, whether it's a hobby or something like that, because the Six of Cups is almost the exact opposite of the Four of Coins. Cups are our emotions, our spiritualities, our feelings. And when we get to the six is when it's a card of harmony, a card of improvement. It's a card of remembrance. This is one of those cards about giving and sharing and receiving and accepting. Giving and sharing, receiving and accepting. It's a card of the heart. It's a card of community, because we didn't get where we are today just because we did all the work. We, at some point in our lives, have had people help us. And there's points in our lives that we've helped other people. So when things are tight, and a lot of us are in a position, especially here in the United States with the government shutdown and things like that, things get tight. And so does our chest, right? So's our chest. And when that happens, this is the earth, this is the air, this is the cups. It affects, how stable we feel. It affects how we think, and it affects our spirituality. So this is about remembering even when times are tough, or we're feeling conservative, or we're feeling like I gotta really watch stuff. It's like there's still things that we can do that we can do to free our souls, to express our spirituality, to express something positive to those around us. And that's what this is a reminder of. And again, sometimes I talk about how I don't do past, present, future all the time. It's like I let the cards decide. And again, this is almost like a scale. And if we can do this, won't we feel a little bit better? But let's take a look at the advice card. It is the Seven of Cups. So, sevens are about potential, drive, ambition. Cups, again, are spirituality, emotions, and feelings. Sometimes when we are in that mode where we're concerned about money, or where we're feeling more tight about it, You know, it's more, you know, sometimes it just weighs more than our spirituality. It's because the shoulda, woulda, couldas. So, Pamela Coleman Smith does a wonderful job with this card because she has a person here who's staring up, and there's a cup that's got a relationship in it, a cup with jewels, a cup with a new home. You know, this is about one of the least grounded cards in the deck. Because sometimes we are so busy looking at the things we don't have, you know, that we just stare up and we can wish, we can fantasize, all these things like that. But then once we get grounded again, once we come down, then we can think about, you know what, instead of thinking, you know, it's like those right there, what do I have? What do I need to do to maintain what I have for those around me and myself? Again, a roof or whatever you need to do. Or just staying, you know, being conservative. But what can I think of to make sure that the water is flowing? Because that's what this card is about. It's reminding ourselves to let the water flow. And when you have a lake, positive water flows in, positive water flows out. That's our wheel. We give, and by giving, we receiving. So today, just think about those areas where we're feeling like we're concerned about it. You know, the money, or just feeling like I'm locked in right here. This is my castle, my domain, and I'm just going to stay right here for a while and sit in this chair by myself. And then remind ourselves, you know what? Water needs to flow. Seven of Cups could be showing us the parallel universes available through our choices. That is true. That is true. Because once again, one action will have a ripple. And the action we take, you know, again, if you do the next right thing, you get the next right thing. We may not see that immediately, but there's a positive ripple. But we always have choices. So with that, take care. Look and see where the water's flowing, making sure that we have water flowing in, and making sure that, can we let water flow out a little bit to somebody else? Even if it's just somebody in our family or nearby. But we got to think about it, because sometimes it's just not where we're at to get out of ourselves. So this is about getting out of ourselves. So thank you all very much. I'm going to go to work, and I will be back here again tomorrow. Take care.
Stars in the sky, cards in my hand, searching for signs, lost in the